Listen here, brother. This is week 4 of the NFL. We're coming back to Pro Sports Room. Let me get a Ric Flair. Woo!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Pro Sports Room. This is week 4 of the NFL. Before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Pulp Technology Solutions. Get a website, get online, get found. This guy does great work, whether it's phones, computers, tablets, websites, businesses. He does a really great job, and you can always find his information in the description box below. So go ahead and give him a check out. Before we get started, before I tell you everything that we're going to talk about today, I have to talk about this guy right here. These guys. Stop blaming Fitzpatrick for 6 interceptions. You can't blame one guy for 8 turnovers. And before you say, yeah, you can, it was all his fault.
You can blame him for 6.
You can blame him
Not
for
8.
6, but I'm not going to blame him for 6. I'm going to blame him for about 3. And the reason why that is look at it like this. In the red zone, it's 1st and 8. And what's the play call they run? Let's go shotgun formation, 4 wide. No tight end, 1 running back in the back. And let's throw the ball in the most congested area of the field. There's 22 players in about a 7-yard area. Oh, I'm sorry, there's 10 yards in the end zone. Or is it 15? I'm not. It doesn't matter.
10. But he's a professional quarterback. He should have did his
1 was
checkdowns.
tipped. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll go with the checkdowns. Before we even go to that part, we'll go a flashback. Seattle versus Patriots Super Bowl. What happened in that? Russell Wilson threw a pick.
Yeah.
The game-losing pick. The pick that changed the world.
Yeah.
Who gets blamed for that pick?
Russell.
No.
Oh, yeah, no, Pete Carroll.
Everyone blames Pete Carroll. So
Yeah.
why are we not blaming Todd Bowles or Chan Gailey for not realizing that the week before in Buffalo, Matt Forte had 3 red zone touchdowns, rushing touchdowns?
Yeah, you're right, but at the same time, picks are going to happen, but
Yeah.
6 of them?
Picks are gonna happen.
You got to learn how to do your checkdowns, you know what I mean?
But you also got to learn how to do your play calling. Like, I'm not going to blame Fitz for all of it because 2 of them were tipped. And if you really look at the picks, like some of them, Fitz was throwing to the receiver. And then you just had DBs making great, like there was one where the receiver turned around just a little bit too late and the DB turned his head just in the right amount of time and picked it off. Oh man, I can't blame Fitz for that, man.
I'm not blaming him for everything, but when you got 6 picks,
I agree with you,
stands
man.
out. It stands out.
It does stand out, and
But
it was aggravating.
It is not
Because
always
when I didn't get to watch the game, but when I was on my way home, I looked at the stats and I'm like 6 turnovers from Fitzpatrick. Like, no, this is outrageous. But I don't.
Trade.
No, because I'm not like every other person. And I don't want Gino to start. I don't think Gino. I think Gino's a head case. I think Gino is Alex Smith when Colin Kaepernick and Alex Smith were on the same team. Alex Smith had no self-esteem. He didn't know how to function as a quarterback when he was there. And then he got traded and went to Kansas City, and it was told that he was going to be the starter. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it, and he was fine.
That still makes me mad too. Whenever Kaepernick got the starting job over Alex Smith, I think he had the highest passer rating that season.
He was doing a great job.
And
he was doing a great job.
Like he had a higher. I don't know if it was the highest, but I know for sure he had a higher passer rating than Peyton and Tom Brady. I'm almost positive.
That's crazy.
So whenever you trade him in for a hot hand, I don't know.
But sorry for my rant. I just,
Okay.
that's just how I feel as a Jet
It
fan.
makes for good television.
So
all right, Herm.
Old Herm. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about the player of the week from week 3. We're going to predict who we think the player of the week will be in week 4. We got our stardom and sit 'em fantasy football. We have a special game with both of our wives, Allison and Kayla, called Who Dis. Yeah. We're going to talk about the Eagles and the possibility of them being able to win a championship within the next 5 years. Is Odell becoming a headache for the New York Giants? And which 1 and 2 team is most likely to rebound and stink it up for the rest of the season. I'm really excited about today. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, stay tuned. Got a lot coming. My boy Carson Wentz. I told you Carson Wentz was the real deal.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah.
No, I didn't say that. I said yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for a sophomore slump though.
Well, everyone's waiting for a sophomore slump.
You know who else had a really good rookie season?
Todd Gurley.
Mark Sanchez.
Well, no. Mark Sanchez had
He
a
had
team
a really
built-
good defense.
He had
but
a
he
team
still
built
had,
around him.
But he still had a good rookie season.
All right. Whatever.
He did.
Whatever.
Where's he at now?
Back
Nowhere.
up. Back up.
Where?
Back up.
Where?
Dallas.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
with Dallas, ain't he?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
All right. Will the Eagles win a Super Bowl within the next 5 years?
Their defense is really good.
And it's really surprising because their defense doesn't have a lot of big names.
Yeah, no, they don't. It's more of like a team effort.
It's more of like a, who is that guy and what school did he come from?
And he's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
No, yeah. They need to get a solid possession receiver.
I think that's what they try to do with Doyle Green Beckham,
Yeah,
but he's
not.
got
not
to
gonna do
one
it.
maybe if he's get one good year with Carson Wentz,
Mhm.
maybe that can work out. I'm excited though. I think the Eagles can actually get to the playoffs this year and be in a Super Bowl within the next 5 years. I'm not gonna say that they'll win a Super Bowl because, I mean, that's just I can tell you what's gonna happen tomorrow. But I could see the way that the Eagles practically went all in on Carson Wentz. I can only imagine what they're going to do with the upcoming years with all the receivers and running backs. I mean, who knows? They could pick up a Dalvin Cook or a Leonard Fournette or a Christian McCaffrey out of nowhere.
Leonard Fournette.
And, you know, their offense could look so much better, and their defense isn't bad. So I could see them making the playoffs this year as a potential wild card. Don't get me wrong, I'm buying the 3-0 hype, but I don't know if they're going to win that division yet.
I think so.
Because that division is still tough. I mean, like I said, it's not the best division in there, but it's one of those like classical matchups. You earned like if you go 8-8 that division, people are like, oh, all right, you went 8-8 in that division
last year.
Yeah, the Redskins
it was 7-9 or 8-8, something like that.
They went 9-7 and won their division or something like that.
Yeah, and then
it's crazy.
Tore up by the Packers, but still,
it's one of those. They look like they could be one of those teams that could make a deep run in the playoffs in the next upcoming years and potentially be in a Super Bowl. But I couldn't tell you if they're gonna win. I mean, I would hope they win just because it brings so much culture to that city.
Yeah, and you never know. Cleveland Cavs won the championship.
Well, that's the other thing. Is like anything can happen.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll have the young talent enough for them to be able to do it. You know, Carson Wentz is obviously a rookie. Doyle Green Beckham. He's only been in the league for a couple years. Their defense looks young. I can see them potentially being in a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, but I'm not going to say win yet because I mean,
you know,
I don't know. I can't.
Somebody
say that
could
yet.
pull a KD, be faithful to one team and then go to the Eagles because.
But in that point, it'd have to be like a solid wide receiver.
I'm talking about like a Des Bryant, like an in-conference trade.
I wouldn't want a Des Bryant.
I'm
Potentially a
talking about
Victor Cruz leaving and going there would be nice, but it's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see if they're able to do that in the next couple years. I can honestly see them making it to the Super Bowl in the next 5 years, though, for sure.
Maybe, because that conference has 1, 2, 3. You got Kirk Cousins, Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz,
And Eli
and
Manning.
Eli. Eli's out. He's not going to win another one. But you got 3 really young, really good quarterbacks that are going to start competing with each other. So
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know about next 5 years because it's going to be.
Well, I think it could be in the next 5 years because it'll probably be one of those like edge rusher, oh no, who's gonna win the NFC East? It's not gonna be one of those like, oh man, who's gonna win the 6 and 10
Yeah, no, it's gonna
NFC
be
East?
real
It's gonna
good.
be like a who's gonna come out 11 and 5. It's gonna be like the NFC North last year between the Packers and
Vikings.
the Vikings.
Yeah, because like I said, 3 good quarterbacks.
Very good quarterbacks.
Kirk is in his 3rd year, I think.
Yeah.
And then you got 2 rookies that are looking really good. So
Speaking of NFC East, what about Odell, man? He's becoming a head case.
no, he's not.
He's becoming a crybaby.
No, he's not.
He's just
He's a diva.
yeah.
He's a wide receiver. Wide receivers are divas. He's gonna be angry like that.
The more that you say that he's a diva and wide receivers are divas, I can agree with you. Brandon Marshall was very, that's my quarterback. I love my quarterback, regardless of what quarterback he had.
Yep.
T.O. was the same way. Randy Moss was the same way. Ocho Cinco was the same way. I mean, I guess it's just them because Marvin Harrison wasn't like that.
Well, Marvin Harrison didn't talk to anybody though.
No.
But Reggie Wayne wasn't like that either.
Reggie Wayne wasn't like that. I mean, there's some that are like that, but I just feel like he's bringing, not good attention to the Giants. Because it's like, oh, well, I'm not happy with the way the offense is running. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with that. And sometimes it works out because last week, Emmanuel Sanders and Demaryius Thomas were saying, I'm not happy with not getting any touches. I'm not happy with... So Trevor Siemian was like, oh, okay.
I'll throw you 4 touchdowns.
Let me throw you a bunch of touchdowns. So maybe he's just trying to get, Eli to throw him the ball. But then again, it's like you're bringing all this attention to you. You're going to get double covered. That's why Victor Cruz and Sterling Shepard are doing so good.
I can see it though, because Eli, I like him, but I was watching the highlights of that game this morning, and there was a route where Odell crossed up Norman so bad, he shook him, and Eli missed the throw. It was an easy touchdown, but Eli missed the throw.
I think he was just frustrated with that whole game because, the whole Norman thing, Norman picking him up out of nowhere and just carrying him, and then everyone's making memes about the field goal net, and I mean,
which is good enough.
It's hilarious.
It was funny because I don't forget where I was, but I was at the Raymond James and I saw the highlights, and then I was like, who just got hit with that field goal little thing that they used?
Yeah.
Sure enough, I saw that beautiful blonde hair going everywhere.
That luscious blonde hair of his. I just feel like he just needs to just calm it down just a little bit.
Just a little bit. But
I mean, because look at it like this. All this attention that he's having this year, he's not
negative.
He's not blowing up. He's just, and people are gonna constantly come back to this if he doesn't start doing something.
I think it's good and bad though, because when was the last time the Giants had somebody that they were like a superstar?
Yeah, Amani Toomer and Tiki Barber back in.
Yeah.
I mean, in their prime, back in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
Well, Victor Cruz, but that was super short.
Yeah, because he was hurt.
He was hurt. So I think it's kind of good because they finally got somebody to bring them attention, but he does need to go about it in a different way.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of amazing players, who's your player of the week last week?
Marvin Jones.
Marvin Jones blew up.
He did 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. I think it was only off of 6 catches too. So that average is probably through the roof. I think it was 35 yards a catch or something like that.
I'm going to go with not just one player, but I'm going to go with Denver's defense. Denver's defense is just shutting down people left and right. I saw a stat today that they've had an interception in almost every game in the last 5 games.
And I was stupid enough to start Cincinnati's defense.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because I was like, Cincinnati's got a good defense. They'll shut Simeon down. Simeon throws 4 touchdowns, which he could be a player of the week too because, he had, I don't know how many yards he had, but he had 4 touchdown passes.
I mean, you could also go with the 2 running backs out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
They had big games.
I also kind of want to go even though he lost. Jameis had a really good game. He
Jameis
had
had a really good
400
game.
yards passing, and he had 3 touchdowns.
A really good game.
And the pick that he had wasn't his fault.
You could also go with Carson Wentz.
No.
Blowing up against that Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah, I guess so. Because I remember I was talking trash, like, you know who the superior Pennsylvania team is,
And he
34-3,
Yeah,
something like that.
he showed out.
Yeah.
Who's your player of the week prediction for this week?
Cam Newton, because he's going against Atlanta's defense, so it's going to be his
It's gonna be a
first.
shootout.
It's going to be his first division game, and he's not doing very Cam-like this
No.
year, so I think he's going to blow up this week. I hope
like
so,
that.
because I'm starting him. So, I hope so.
My player of the week this week is going to be AJ Green. And I'm not saying that because I have him starting in fantasy, but he's playing against Miami's defense this week. Actually tonight, Thursday night. So I just see him having a big. As much as I don't like Miami, if Terrell Pryor can have a good game against Miami's defense, that also might be a player of the week.
Yeah,
Terrell
Pryor's
was
pure athlete though. Like
Terrell Pryor did a great job.
very underrated. Like he can do it all.
He did a great job.
And the team he's on,
Yeah,
the Browns. Imagine if he could have. Wasn't he on the Seahawks at one point?
He's followed Hugh Jackson everywhere.
Okay, so can you imagine if he was with the Seahawks right now?
Yeah.
I don't think that we would be talking about the Seahawks last week when we were talking about them. Oh, will they make the playoffs? And
Right.
everything. If they had Doug Baldwin playing like he did last week, he had a good week too.
Yeah.
He used another person. Him and Terrell Pryor, Jermaine Kearse, they got a pretty good receiving core, but I think with them it does come down to their running game.
I'm actually going to take AJ Green off, and I'm going to put my biased hat on. I think the Jets defense are going to do really, really good this week. And the only reason why I say that is because Russell Wilson's not 100% right now. And, I don't think that the players obviously look to hurt anybody, but they're going for that. And you're going to go to win the game. I don't think they're going to hurt them, but I think they're going to be like, hey, look, they're going to tackle him and they're going to pull a Jared Allen and they're going to be like, I would stay down if I were you.
In order for them to have a good game, can't have 8 turnovers though, right?
Yeah, well, get out of here. Don't worry about 8 turnovers.
Because
I think the play calling is going to change on that.
That's the
big time.
Rams' problem though, because I think we have an elite defense, but they're always on the field, not necessarily because of turnovers, but because 3 and outs. We finally do get a first down, then we get to a 3rd and 1, and they try to launch it, and they don't get it. So, yeah, as long as y'all's offense plays pretty decent,
I'm hoping we
not 6 picks and. Speaking of outstanding performances,
let's go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor, Pulp Technology Solutions. Get a website, get online, and get found. This guy does great work on computers, phones, websites, businesses, all of it. You can check out his website in our bio and the link below, and tell him we sent you. He'll help you out. Stardom, Sid'em, fantasy. We're not going to go every position,
in depth.
but who's your top 2 Stardom, Sid'em?
My 2 stardoms, I'm not going to doubt Denver's defense again, because did that last week. And I'm going to pick Cam Newton since I think he's going to have a game of the week. Player of the week.
My stardoms is Drew Brees, because he's going against San Diego's defense, and that's a guaranteed 500 yards. And defense, you never can go wrong with Minnesota. Even though they're playing the Giants
Yeah.
on a Monday night, I'm still gonna go Minnesota
They
because
really can't. They got 22 points against Carolina last week.
I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna shut down Odell, Sterling, and Victor Cruz, but they're still gonna get you at least 15 points in fantasy.
Yep.
So they're gonna have some turnovers. They're gonna make Eli make big mistakes, and capitalize on those mistakes.
It's a good team defense. They're really good.
Who's your sit-ems?
Even though their defense is struggling, I'm still going to sit Andy Dalton because he's just, I don't know, last year he had a good year stat-wise, but so far he's just playing average.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't start him. And Hearns, he's been disappointing me too.
Fortunately, Al Jackson has been disappointing.
Yeah.
My sit-ems, as much as I hate to say this, because I just did this in my league, I sat Brandon Marshall. Yeah. They're going up against a defense that, even though they're allowing points left and right, it's still Seattle's defense. They're still gonna find a way to shut down one person on that team.
Still LAP.
So, I mean, that's for my offense. For my defense, just because the Jets had 6 picks and 2 fumbles doesn't mean that you should scurry and go pick up the Chiefs defense, because if you did, you might want to sit them. Marcus Peters only had 2 picks, and it was on that game.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I would just be very cautious, for the Chiefs. I mean, if you're struggling for a defense, you can pick them up, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't dive in on that bandwagon yet.
They are a good defense to have, like, in reserve.
Right, in reserve.
I mean, like
a bye week or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like with me, I got Denver and Cincinnati's defense.
Yeah.
I made the mistake of starting Cincinnati's defense for some reason, so I think I'm going to use them as just a reserve the rest of the year.
Yep, smart. I like that a lot. Which 1 and 2 team is least likely to rebound, and which is more likely to succeed from each conference? AFC, you have the Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Titans, Indy, and San Diego. That's for your AFC. So who do you think is least likely to rebound, and which is more likely to succeed?
More likely... Let's do less likely first. Probably San Diego. They're not there. And then with Woodhead getting injured out for the season, they're definitely not. It's not there. I mean, Phillip Rivers is always going to have good games,
Right.
But as far as
I don't think it's more of an offensive thing. I think it's more of a defensive thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because Melvin Gordon stepped up and has done big things.
Yeah.
I mean, Phillip Rivers is just throwing the ball to anybody, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I think it's more of just a defensive thing.
Yeah. And most likely, what were the teams?
Jets, Bills, Dolphins, Bengals, Tennessee, Colts.
Colts probably most likely because Jacksonville's really disappointing this season so far. J.J. Watt's hurt, so Houston's heart's gone.
Yep.
And Tennessee's, I don't get them. So I think the Colts are going to be like the Redskins last year and win their division at
8-8.
Yeah. So
Disappointing.
I don't know, unless Jacksonville starts tearing it up here
That
soon.
defense, maybe one more year.
Yeah.
I hope so. For me, team most likely to rebound, I gotta go with the Jets. I have to. I mean, I'll put my Skip Bayless shirt on and just be such a homer and say that they're gonna win 16 games, but I'm not. But I can see them rebounding. The first 6 games, everyone knew that this was the hardest first 6 games. A lot of people didn't even expect us to win the 2 or any.
Yeah.
We've already won 1, and then these next 3 games, they're really tough, but they have the chance to at least go bring it out to 3-3, and then it's somewhat an easier schedule in the long run.
It's there. They just, I don't know. Fitzpatrick and Marshall. They gotta gel a little bit.
The offense needs to get back
Yeah.
into their gel.
Mm-hmm.
Least likely to succeed, I got to go with the Titans.
Yeah.
They're still missing a couple
Yeah.
pieces. They don't have it figured out yet, unfortunately. I mean, Mariota is doing a lot better than what I expected to do. Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray are just blowing up that backfield. But, I mean,
They're missing receivers.
they're missing a receiver, and their defense isn't 100% yet.
I feel bad
So-
for Delaney Walker. His talent's going to waste, I think.
He'll probably get
Tennessee.
traded. He'll probably get traded for some picks. NFC, least likely to succeed and most likely to rebound. You have Redskins, Lions, Tampa, Carolina, Arizona, and San Francisco. Which is most likely to rebound and which is least likely to rebound?
Least likely, I'm going to pick San Francisco.
Yeah.
They still got to play Seattle one more time. They got to play Arizona 2 more times. They got to play us 1 more time. I think that first game was a fluke.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened with us, but that game. But yeah, I think that was just a fluke. Anytime you got Blaine Gabbert starting, it's just not going to be good.
You don't have any tape on him.
Yeah,
You don't have any tape on him.
and most likely, I'm not going to pick any of those. I'm going to pick New Orleans.
Oh, the
They're-
0-3 team.
Yeah,
there
their-
we go.
Their offense is too good.
It's just
Pass
that
up.
defense.
It's too good.
It's
If
just that
their
defense.
defense can hold
Figure out
somebody to
something.
21 points, that's all they need. Just 21 points. Drew Brees will do 500 yards every game.
Least likely to rebound. I'm gonna go with San Francisco. I mean, like you said, they don't have it all together. I think Chip Kelly's gonna leave there anyways, but there's just a headache over there.
Yeah.
And most likely to rebound. I'm gonna go with Honey Badger and Arizona. Honey Badger don't care how anybody else feels. Honey Badger doesn't care about a 1-2 record. Honey Badger came to play,
Yeah.
and he's gonna show out, and they're gonna do something and do what they can to win that game. So
He should have showed out in those 2 blowouts.
he should have,
Mm.
but I don't know, man. Something's going on with their defense.
Tell you what, Honey Badger needs to come to LA.
Honey Badger needs to come to New York.
No.
So next up, we're gonna play a really fun game called Who Dis, and we're actually gonna bring in our wives, Allison and Kayla. So please welcome them, and here they are. Boom!
Okay. Who dis? It's going to be the player, the team, and the position. So you can get 3 points
Okay.
off of every picture. First round, who dis?
That's
Okay.
a throw. That's
Well, that's a
old.
Jet player, so that has a uniform on.
Okay, first of all, that's from like
That's a
the
quarterback.
90s.
That's Joe Namath.
Oh, yeah,
That's Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Look, you can tell the picture's old,
yeah. It's from the
and he's throwing the ball. So he's clearly a quarterback, and
That's
he's got a
the
Jets
Jets.
uniform.
That's all I know.
It's Joe Namath.
Good job.
Yeah.
He threw 3 times in his career. He threw 6 picks like this. Just not the same year. Right? Am I right?
Whoa.
He's a Jet player. That's why I know.
Hey, step your game up,
Okay,
right?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Who dis?
It's
Round
really
2.
dark.
I know, my phone's almost dead.
Can we hold it?
It's Rams and it's.
This is old.
He's a quarterback.
He is.
Yeah,
Mark,
he's definitely a
you should
Rams
know,
quarterback.
I wore his jersey last week.
It starts with B.
Mick Elroy.
His last
No.
name. His last name.
We can do this. Sanders.
Nope.
He's a quarterback though,
He is
right?
a
His last
quarterback.
name starts with a B.
No.
A W.
Yeah.
Winter.
No.
Walker.
Nope.
Warner.
Warner? Kurt Warner?
Warner.
Ah, good job!
Pop Warner Football League. Yep. All
Is
right.
that really where they got Pop Warner from?
No.
Don't play with my emotions like
No.
that.
Round 3. Here you go, Kayla. Who is this?
Oh, that's
Panthers.
not Russell Wilson.
Hold on.
Cameron
Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Nope.
Cameron.
I don't know.
Let me see.
Okay.
Panthers, and he's a wide receiver, isn't he?
Nope.
He's a running back.
Yep.
His name is
Harris.
I will give you a
Russell Wilson.
hint. I will give you a hint. If you watched Comedy Central, he had an old show. It was political, not Colbert. But
T.O. doesn't play in the NFL anymore, does he? No. Is he a barber? No.
He had a show. Michael Strahan.
No. No.
Is his name Michael?
No.
No, there's a show on Comedy Central.
Yeah, that's not gonna help.
He
me.
shares
Yeah, it
the
is.
same name.
He shares the same name as this
As
guy
my
on
father.
Comedy Central.
that
Tom
helps.
Connor.
No.
O'Connor. I
No.
don't know.
I don't know.
He's a middle-aged Jewish male. White.
He's always white.
No.
No.
The guy, the guy
I
on
was like, I
Comedy
did not
Central.
see that.
The guy on Comedy Central.
Is he the one that? Oh, he does the political comedy show, the
Yes.
funny ones.
Yes.
His show's funny. His name
Yeah.
is
It's not Colbert.
It's not
It's not
Colbert.
Colbert, it's the other one.
Conan.
No.
No.
I'm not Conan O'Brien. I don't know, but I've seen it. He's kind of
Starts with a
funny. He
J.
keeps a really good
Jon
straight face.
Stewart. John.
Yeah.
John Strahan.
No.
His last name is the same.
Yes. His first name is
First
a little bit extended.
Jonathan.
Jonathan.
Finish it.
Jonathan.
Jonathan
There you
Stewart.
go.
There you go.
Yay!
That's your running back.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just like the colors and the mascot.
All right. Who is this?
Brandon Marshall.
Okay.
The Jets.
Jets.
He's a receiver.
Quarterback.
No,
Who's that?
he's a receiver. He's
Receiver.
got the biggest island in the game.
No.
Yes, he does.
No.
No, that's Revis.
Yeah. Wrong
That's
player.
that's
I'm
opposite.
such a
That's the
girl.
opposite
I know
island.
that's defense.
Opposite island.
All right. Last one.
I can't see that. That's a Bears. Is that Cutler?
Nope.
That's a Bronco.
Flacco?
Is it a bear?
It's a Bronco.
Oh, it's a
It's
Bronco.
You said.
Tim Tebow.
And he's black.
Is he black?
I don't know. It
I
doesn't
don't know,
matter
but
'cause I don't know
he's
his name.
stirring something up in his hand. He just had a touchdown.
He's cooking.
You know who it is, right?
Michael Cook. Is his name Michael?
No. This is a trick one. This is a trick question.
Ocho Cinco.
No.
No, he's not Ocho Cinco. He's 54. Oh, wrong one.
He's a Bronco.
Who did he play for before the Broncos?
What's his
Nobody.
position?
Nobody.
Nobody. I don't think so.
So he's young then.
It's fairly
Straight out the draft.
He
Tell me what round
Just
and I'll
got-
tell you what player.
he All right. He just got dropped from a sponsorship.
Oh, Marshall.
Marshall what?
Marshawn Lynch.
No. Something Marshall. Is it something Marshall though? It's Brandon Marshall. Isn't his name Brandon Marshall?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they thought it was Brandon Marshall from the Jets.
Yeah. Now, what is his position?
Tight end.
Nope.
No, he's not a tight end.
Running back.
He's a wide receiver.
No.
He's a halfback. Fullback.
Nope. Nope.
He's too small for a fullback.
No.
What's a fullback? He's a kicker.
No.
I don't know. Like
Wide receiver. Is he on defense or offense? Defense?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so then he's what Revis is. No, he's a punt returner.
he's a.
Is that defense or is that special teams?
Special teams.
It's the same thing.
You put me to shame.
Clearly not. Okay, so his name is Brandon Marshall, and he
Is in the middle of the field.
a center.
No, he's on
He's in the
defense.
center of the field.
He's a
what
punter.
He's what Ray
No, he's on
Lewis used
defense.
to
Don't
play.
tell me. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Position.
I don't know.
He's what
Okay.
Brian Urlacher played.
Hold on. He's on defense.
Yeah.
He's in the D line.
No.
So he's not on D line. He's not.
He's
I
not
don't
what
even know
Revis
which
is.
He's tight end?
No, that's offense.
Oh
So
my
if he's
God.
not in the
I don't
sec-
want you to tell me though.
I'm helping.
Do I know the word? Is it in my
I hope so.
vocabulary?
If he's not in the secondary and he's not on the defensive line, what's in the middle of that?
On the defense?
There's usually 3 people.
Sometimes 4.
Hold on. Wait.
They call him the Mike back sometimes.
Halfback, fullback,
No.
quarterback,
No.
nickelback.
No.
Don't tell me. Do I know the word? Is it a word that I would know?
I don't know.
Say a word, Marshall.
We don't really have a famous one, so as a Jet, I mean.
You used to. Bart Scott.
Okay,
Yeah, I
give us
know,
hints.
but-
Give us hints.
Without telling us, though.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
tell me. I'll feel
So
cheated.
there's at the front of the defense. What is that called?
The D-line.
All right. So use that second word.
Line. Offensive line.
Offensive lineman.
No.
No.
Defensive
There-
lineman.
No, because that's what that's what a D line is. So take that second word, line.
Linebacker.
Hey!
Oh, you're awesome.
Yay!
He's a linebacker. We could have told you that.
Well,
You
thank
did
you
that.
for telling us.
Why didn't you do that 21 times ago?
Is that it?
That concludes our very first game of Who Dis.
Woo!
Thank you for participating.
You welcome, girl.
All right. Well, that was the first edition of Who Dis, and they did a lot better than I thought they were gonna do. I thought they were gonna get like 2, but I think you snuck in a couple of Jet players in there,
Yeah.
and that helped her out.
I tried to do the same thing with my wife with her Panther player, and she should have known Kurt Warner because I wore his jersey. So
It is what it is. We're excited for next week because there's going to be a lot more fun going on in that week, and we're going to go ahead and close it out.
thank you for tuning in. Give a shout out to our sponsors and catch us next week. Bye.
There it is.
It's the elbows.